All right, everybody, welcome back. It's time for social studies. So after the video, you're going to do the assignment in the portfolio section. And then if you're able to, come back on the site and explore a little bit. If you're not able to, it's okay. So click on week 2. All right, today's lesson, this is social emotional learning. And I think this is very important. It's about empathy and kindness. So empathy is when you can put yourself in someone else's shoes. Like, how would you feel if that was happening to you? For instance, let's just say I handed out all the slime to the class, right? And somebody's slime was stolen. You might feel empathy for the person whose slime was stolen. You will feel bad for them, and you might offer them some of your slime. So empathy is when you can kind of feel what other people are feeling. Think about if it were you. And that's how I always think when I treat people, how would I want to be treated? And with kids, I always think, how would I want my child to be treated? So I'm going to do both stories. And I would really like you guys to watch the video, Choose to Be Kind. All right, let's take a look at the activity for today first. And I put it on portfolio, so at the end of the video, you can see how to do it. You are playing with friends. Another student asked to join. Think, how does it feel to be left out? What can you say to your friends? So think about that. All right, let's start with empathy. I know how you feel. And having empathy is part of being a person. So this is a great lesson for you to learn today. What is empathy? Your friend looks sad. She drew a picture and it got ripped. You say, I am sorry. I know how that feels. You are showing empathy. And I know that a lot of you guys did this in class. You would share with your friends, and I'm really proud of you for that. So keep doing it. Empathy is understanding your friend's feelings and caring about them. You can imagine how he or she feels. That lets you share the same emotion. Okay, so maybe your friend is sad. Maybe you're not sad, right? You're not sad, but you understand your friend is sad. You may try to cheer your friend up. Maybe your friend just wants to be left alone, and that's okay. Everybody deals with their emotions differently. You get me? All right, let's look at the picture of these different emotions. We have happy, sad, angry, and surprised. So maybe during our Zoom meeting, we can come up with things that make us happy, things that make us sad, angry, and surprised. That will get the conversation going. Can you name some emotions? How about happiness, sadness, or anger? Everyone feels emotions. It is important to know our own emotions. That helps us see how others feel too. There's a great movie about emotions. It's actually one of my favorites. Maybe you've seen it. It's called Inside Out. That's a really great movie. You should see it. Try walking in someone else's shoes. Have you ever heard anyone say that? You did, because I said it in the beginning of the video. It means that you should try to imagine how someone else feels. Now, you're not really going to walk in somebody else's shoes, right? You're just imagining that you are. You're imagining that you are that person. When you walk in someone else's shoes, you feel what they feel, and you can feel empathy for the other person. Here are some ways to have and show empathy. Remember or imagine how you would feel in another person's shoes. So if you're doing something, and you don't want that done to you, then you shouldn't be doing it, right? Like in the classroom, I know a couple of times we've had somebody just randomly call somebody a name, right? Well, would you want to be called a name? No. And then usually what happens is somebody calls you a name, then you call them a name back, and then it goes on, and then somebody raises their hand and says, Mrs. Stevens, they're bullying me, or I'm upset, and it's just a lot of emotion. So please don't say things that you don't want said to you. And that will come as you grow older. But I know as a child, I don't ever remember calling anybody names at school. It just wasn't something that I would even think to do. Watch and listen closely to what another person is doing or saying. Ask what another person is feeling. Now, if you accidentally, maybe you're joking around and you say a name, call a person a name, but it was a joke, and that person didn't think it was a joke, then you need to just calm your friend down. Don't get angry with your friend, right? You just want to feel how they're feeling, even if it wasn't intended to be mean. Showing you care. Some kids are great at showing empathy. You have probably been in the same situations they have. When you read the stories about these kids, ask yourself, what would I do? Anna is upset. She lost her favorite eraser. It had sparkles on it. Molly remembers when she lost her favorite pencil. It smelled like cupcakes. She remembers how upset she was. She knows just how Anna feels. Molly says, I am sorry you lost your eraser. Okay, so you just think about how the other person's feeling, and a lot of times it will spark up memories of the same things that you are dealing with. Jack watches his mother clean the kitchen while he eats his snack. He notices that she is not smiling like she usually does. She often sings while she cleans too, but today his mom is quiet. She seems sad. Jack thinks about what might cheer his mom up. He knows she loves his hugs. He gives her a big squeeze. Mason just started at Ben's school. Now he is sitting all alone at recess. Ben goes over and asks Mason how he is doing. It is lonely to be in a new school with no friends, Mason says. Ben imagines how he would feel in Mason's place. He asks him if he wants to play. They play together and have a great time. So you don't know the new person until you talk to them, right? And we had some new students. We had Alana and Dynasty join us. Some kids are whispering about Isabella. She thinks they are making fun of her. She looks like she will cry. Ryan knows it does not feel good to be teased. He tells Isabella it has happened to him before, and it made him feel really sad. I know what will help, he says. Let's go sit somewhere else. Yep, sometimes it's better to just move away from the situation. Empathy works both ways. Share your feelings. That lets your friends understand how you feel. Then they will know they can share with you too. When friends care about each other, everyone feels good. And in life, you want to feel good, right? You don't want to feel bad. All right, we are going to read the other story, Stick and Stone. I hope it doesn't just play. It says watch the story. Well, let me just try it. Read along. I want to read along. I'm trying to. All right, I'm going to try to read the story to you. We'll see how it goes. I'm sorry, I was going to do it, but I realized it's 7 minutes and 45 seconds, and you can't really hear the sound. So you won't be able to hear. It's a lot of music. So I would suggest that you come back on here and watch the story. I know I'm going to watch it when this video is over. All right, the next step, we finished the story. Now we're going to go ahead and do our assignment so we can get our credit, right? Go to Class Dojo. And I got to log in as a student and enter the code. The code expired again. All right, let me just, that doesn't seem right. It says it was good, should be good for, geezo. Supposed to be good for 40. All right, you know what? Let me just go out of here. I'm just going to try it one more time. Okay. All right. Now I got to go back as myself and look up the classroom code. Good thing I'm sitting here, another lesson, right, with the paper and the pen. So in our Zoom lesson, make sure you have a pen and paper so that we can do some math problems. Look, the code changed and it says you can sign in for the next 25 hours. Okay, GFP. Oh, Mrs. Stevens is silly. This was the code from yesterday. I'm looking at an old code. I have so many codes, I can't keep track. So here's another lesson. Label what you're doing, or if it's an old code, cross it out. Whoopsie, no need to get frustrated. I'm going to log out. And now put in the correct code. GFP JUY. Find your name. And then you're going to hit view all and find the assignment. And here it is, Thursday, social studies. And then on the side, it tells you what to do. You are playing with your friends and a new kid is feeling left out. What would you do? How does it feel to be left out? So you need to have a, please don't just do the bare minimum of one sentence. Remember, we were writing whole paragraphs, right? So you could write a whole paragraph. All right, so I'll do a sample. All right, let's say you are playing with your friends and a new kid is feeling left out. All right, so first, I'm going to say, if I was playing with, with my friends and a new kid wanted to join, I would include well, I can't say them because it's one kid. I would include him or her because it doesn't say if it's a boy or girl. All right, now it says, so what would you do? I would include him or her. How does it feel to be left out? So you got to think of a time when you felt left out. Okay, there's a lot of times when you can feel left out. So let me think. So writers have to think for a minute, and that's okay to pause and think about a time when you were left out. So let me think about, I've got one. Okay, so the job that I had before coming to Leap Academy, I had a teacher that worked with me. The only problem was, for some reason, she wouldn't talk to me. And if another teacher came in the room, she wouldn't introduce me, and she would talk to her friend, and I wasn't included in the conversation, and it didn't seem like they really wanted me there. So I know it feels terrible to be left out. So I would not do that to anyone else. All right, and then you're going to put hand in. All right, now the next thing, after the assignment, just watch the math video and then join me on Zoom. All right, bye guys.